Hello, kindergarten scientists. You've been learning about materials that absorb or soak in liquid. Well, today I have two things I want to share with you. I have in front of me some sand, and I also have dirt or soil. All right, I want to know here's the question that I'm trying to answer: which will absorb the water the most? Which is the most absorbent? Before we do this exploration, I want you to take a guess or make a prediction. Which material do you think will absorb or soak up the water better? Do you think it's sand? If you do, give a thumbs up. Or do you think it will be the soil? Do you think the soil will soak up most of the water? If you do, give a thumbs up. All right, well, we're going to have to wait and see to answer that question. So I had already measured out some sand and I put it in this little cup and some dirt. So I'm going to pour out the sand, and what I have here is a little setup. I have a clear container. I have this mesh screen that I'm going to rest on top of the clear container. And on top of that, I'm putting a coffee filter because I don't want the grains of sand to drip down into the container. I just want to see how much water may drip. So I'm pouring the sand right in the middle. There we go. There it is. All right, next, I'm going to pour the dirt on top of a coffee filter carefully. Flatten it just a little. Keep it in the center. All right. And there's the soil. Now, I already measured out the water. I'm going to pour the water on top, and to see which one's more absorbent, which one will soak up the water more, I want to see how much water drips to the bottom of the container. So the material that absorbs most of the water will have the least amount of water in the container because it's trapped inside the material that it was poured onto. All right. The one that's less absorbent or doesn't soak up the water so well will have most of the water in the clear container. All right, let's see. Let's see how this goes. So I'm going to pour the water over the sand first. It's almost done. All right, done. Now it's time to pour. Let me just move this up closer. Do you see the water already dripped and there's a stream? Oh, there's the drip drops. There we go. All right. Let's try the water over the soil. I don't want it to spill over onto the table, so I have to give it some time because it's kind of resting on top. There we go. And I'm going to bring this closer. And we see the drip drops here too. So I'm going to give this a minute to finish pouring through, and we'll see which one has the most water in the container. And then that'll help us determine which material, the soil or the sand, was more absorbent. All right, while we're waiting, if someone's at home, you can share your prediction with them. Tell them what you think. Which material will be more absorbent? Which one will soak up the most water? Okay. I'm going to hold each of them up. So here's the sand. And there's the water that dripped from the sand. And here's the soil. And as you can see, even looking at the top, like the sand, it's wet, but we don't see water resting on top. Whereas the soil, it looks like it's kind of trapping the water from dripping down into the container. And there's the water. So I'm going to give it another minute. Let's see, there. You can see it better over there. To drip and to drop. I'm listening if I hear any more drip drops, and I do, and it's really slow. Nothing from the sand, but a little bit from the soil. I'm just waiting till it stops. When it's really quiet and I don't hear any more drip drops, I'm going to look at the water again one more time. I think I heard a little drip. All right, you keep watching. I'm going to bring it camera a little closer. There we go. And let's wait until we don't hear those drip drops. Did you hear any drip drops? I didn't. All right. I think it's time that I see the height, how high the water went up in each container. So I'm going to start with the sand. I'm just going to draw, oops, it's moving the water, so I got to keep it still. There we go. All right, so the water went up there. Let me draw a better line because it was moving. There we go. That's good. All right, now it's time for the soil. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to put the containers side by side. I can take this away now. And the containers side by side so you can see those lines. Move the camera down a bit. All right, I noticed, it might be a little hard to tell with the camera, but I noticed that more water dripped from the sand sample than it did from the dirt sample. The water's a bit higher in this container than the one in the dirt. So what does that mean? That means that soil is more absorbent. It soaks in more water than sand does. I hope you enjoyed this exploration. You can share what you've learned today with your families. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.